Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio, let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Nova Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all. Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio, let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Nova Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all. Now we're ready to rock. Damn it.
Marcus.
Let's get this thing on and popping. You know what it is? The official Man Cave Morning Show, the Man Cave Midday Show. It depends on what part of the world you live in.
It's morning somewhere.
Yes.
It's the Man Cave
Shout out
Morning
to BKS1 Radio for having us. We appreciate you, BKS. No doubt. Oh man, we are here.
Show.
We're live.
It's Friday. We made it.
It is Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I'm clapping it up.
It's Friday.
Clap it up for Friday, y'all. We made it.
Yes, we did. Yes.
We're
still here.
Facts. Let me introduce my partner, man, my co-host, the man that understands, and together we got the plan. We call him what?
Deacon.
What?
Whoa. Wakanda forever.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. All right, man. Listen. First and foremost, shout out to everybody watching us live right now on Twitter and Periscope. At BKS1 Radio ENT. Also, I retweeted that to at Storm of BKS1. So it's Storm Twitter and Periscope. Shout out to everybody watching us live on YouTube. That's BKS1 Radio TV on YouTube.
BKS1 Radio on YouTube.
Go there, you can watch us live too. Shout out to everybody on the FB. Shout out to everybody on the FB. And shout out to TuneIn.
The TuneIn app. What up?
You can listen to the show right now on the TuneIn app.
It's free?
It is free. It doesn't cost $1.99. It doesn't cost 99 cents. It is free.
Yes.
Right?
Black people prices.
Welcome, everybody. Let me get some love. Shout out to D-Mac on the check-in. Shout out to the Diva, Kim Sharif on the check-in. Click that share button right now. Just click the share button like this no matter what platform you are listening to us on. Let people know we are in the building for the Man Cave Show. And we're going to talk about some things today. We're going to talk about some things today. Shout out to everybody trickling in. Shout out to people texting me, talking about where y'all at. People inboxing me, talking about where y'all at.
We here.
We are here.
Freezing in Jersey.
Yes,
great state of New Jersey.
Feels nice and warm in here, though.
Yes.
Nice and toasty.
Yes.
Right.
You and your short sleeves. Me and my ball.
You
Cold.
See me, right?
Yeah, I see
Shades
I
of
see
black.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kiki for the Shades of Black joint.
Respect.
Yes. Clap it up for that. Listen, our topic today, man. There's a lot going on, right? A lot of petty beefs, grudges.
And reconciliations.
Reconciliation.
Right, yes.
But people really need to learn how to let go.
Yes, they do.
At a certain point, you got to let go.
Yes, maturity.
I mean, and of course, I know we're going to say depending on what it is or whatever like that, but
no, let go. Let it go.
And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Some of y'all know how to hold on to a damn grudge or beef forever. And it's like, okay, listen, I get it.
I know you hate me. I know. Let
go
it
through
go.
some things, man. People cheat on people.
Right.
People hurt other people either physically or emotionally.
Right. Betray people.
Yes. I get it. But at what point do you let go and you move on and you just start to live life? And again, the old cliche, what is it? Forgiveness is not for the other person.
It's for you.
Right?
Very true.
So that's the old cliche, but it is true. It is true.
Set yourself free, forgive.
Yeah. So I watched the whole Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. Right. And also, I watched the Versus battle with Jeezy and Gucci Mane, right?
Yes.
Shout out to Kim Cooper. Sis was good. Good afternoon. And I watched the Versus battle. And certain people was like, this battle, blah, 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 blah. But this particular battle was not about the music to me.
Okay.
It was more or less about the message because, prior to, years ago, Gucci Mane and Jeezy had beef over the fact that, supposedly Jeezy had somebody come at Gucci, and the person he had come at him supposedly got killed in the process.
Wow.
Right? Gucci did some time, whatever the case may be. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it was like 15 years ago.
Okay.
So for this versus to even happen, right?
Yep.
There had to be a level of maturity that kicked in from one of the parties. So from what I understand is that Jeezy invited Gucci Mane to do this versus battle.
That was big of him.
All right. So, I said, I'm going to check it out. Mm-hmm. So when the battle finally started, when the verses started,
right,
Gucci came in. He came in with the shade. He came in with diss songs against, Jeezy,
15-year-old energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 15-year-old, I like the way you said that. 15-year-old energy.
Right.
Basically. And Jeezy was just on a different vibe. He really was on a different vibe.
Right.
And I'm going to show y'all a clip. of when they started discussing the battle. I'm also going to show y'all more of a clip of Will Smith
and Janet
Hubert,
right?
Whatever, because I want y'all to watch this, and we're going to talk about this, but I want y'all to relate it to somebody that you probably got beef with, or had beef with, or still hold a grudge against. Something you still holding against somebody, something you just didn't let go or whatever, whether it be a family member, whether it be an old friend,
right.
Just somebody that was in your life, acquaintance, whatever, and you still holding all this animosity and all this anger and all this hate towards this person or whatever. And at some point, for you have to let it go. We have to grow, we have to mature, we have to evolve.
And move on. Free yourself.
And move on. And then, Woo, you could tell me about somebody that probably hated you.
There are many people that hate me.
And they was able to move past it. Maybe they was able to move past it. Or somebody that you probably hated or didn't like.
Okay.
Or you held a grudge against.
All right.
Or you had a petty beef with.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And eventually, you let it go.
Right.
And
that's what I want to talk about.
You was able to come to terms with the situation and reconcile.
Right.
All right? So let's talk about this thing. And let's go in on this. Shout out to everybody checking in. Shout out to Ingrid Judge. Shout out to Denise Sparrow.
Ingrid Judge.
Yes. Shout out to people on the YouTube side too. Shout out to Kaz Minor. Shout out to
what up?
Social Elevation. Yeah, Walter Pittman. Shout out to y'all. Peace and blessings. Now,
what's good?
Yes, let's talk about this thing, man. All right, let's go right into the whole Jeezy. And listen, man, I'm not a fan of Gucci Mane. So this is not even really about rap music for me. It was more or less about the message, because it could have got ugly at this particular versus battle, given the history, right? Could have got ugly, because I heard Gucci Mane came up in there with about 100 people. He came up in there with, and Jeezy was rolling light, whatever. And again, I saw the initial shade in the beginning.
Right.
All right, so let's roll this clip. Let me find this clip for y'all.
That nigga ass in the
dirt. Right here. Play this for y'all, and let's discuss it.
Okay.
That nigga ass in the dirt.
I tell you what.
Smoking on Pookie Load tonight.
I tell you what. This how we gonna do this.
Send some more, I'ma send them the same way. In a box back to you.
Are you doing
free kill? Free kill.
Man. I tell you what though. See, when I even called you and extended this invite, my nigga, I did it as a real man. It's been 20 motherfucking years.
15 years.
Okay, well, how many? You still talking the same shit. You feel me? Still talking the same shit.
Hey, man,
so
you gotta take
that.
Listen,
let me talk, my nigga. Let me talk.
Listen.
Let me talk.
I don't want to talk. I'm through talking. It's your turn to do the song.
That's
what
right.
are we gonna do?
That's right.
Are we gonna do some music or
I tell you what, my nigga. I tell you what. It go like this. When I extended the invitation, I did it as a real man. You feel me? Because I
told you straight off the dribble. I told you off the dribble, nigga. We can't do nothing if it ain't street. If I can't perform the truth, we can't do it.
It's all good. But let me say my piece. Let me say my piece.
Take off.
Let me say my piece. It's like this, bro. I extended my hand because I'm a real man. And the shit we came from in the street, dog, you seen it, we've been through it, dog. 20 years. And when I said I wanted to do this shit for the culture, that's what I wanted to do, nigga. I brought you here to show you the world care about what the fuck we got going on, because we are the culture. You feel me? Me and you. Where we came from. What we been through, nigga. Us. Me and you. All these kids out here doing what the fuck they do because they saw what went on with us, dog. So this shit ain't about me. This shit ain't about you. You feel what I'm saying? This shit about King Von. This shit by Doe B. This shit by Nipsey Hussle. This shit by motherfucking Pop Smoke, M3. And I'm real enough to do that, nigga, because one thing about it, 2 things for sure, 3 things for certain, nigga.
I'm the realest nigga in it. You already know.
Hey, man, listen. I'll respect.
Now, I'm going to clap it up. I got to clap it up.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
The song.
Respect.
The song that. The song that he was about to play.
Joe Pesci in the background. Okay.
Yeah. The song that he was about to play was a song they did together called So Icy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that was like extending an olive branch. Like, I'm going to end off this versus battle with this song we did together you know, before all the craziness, whatever like that. And they both performed it together, and they both did their part, whatever, and they both was rocking to it, because before that, there was a lot of tension all throughout this whole versus battle between the two. And again, Jeezy had his big boy drawers on, his grown man pants on, whatever, and all the way through it. You know, like Gucci was taking shots earlier in the battle, talking about, you see how I came dressed right, blah blah blah. I'm wearing $10,000. I'm wearing 10 G's. You know, jewelry, this, that, whatever. Look how you dress, blah 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 blah. He said, you wearing 10 G's. He said, how about this? He said, I got real estate.
Right.
Jeezy said, I got real. Okay, I got real estate. That's cool. And then they went back to the music. So, what's his name? Jeezy. Last night he was just a bigger dude. He didn't come into it on no malicious intent. You know what I'm saying? And I saw the growth actually in both of them towards the end, because then Gucci was like, I'm glad I accept that olive branch that you extended, and blah 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 blah. It was what it was, and blah blah blah, and they let it go. So everybody looking at that follows these guys that were like ready to go to war over these guys and start petty little beefs or whatever like that, can look at that, how grown men handle their issues.
So, this is a lot. First of all, I love to see grown man reconciliation. Also, let me say, hip-hop broke my heart after the death of Pac and Biggie. That's when hip-hop broke my heart. And as a middle-aged man now, literally, for the most part, outside of, the 90s hip-hop that me and you kind of rock all the time, the way I relate to hip-hop is when I get a news flash telling me that some young rapper has been murdered. I'm going to keep it real. The way I learned about who Pop Smoke was through his murder. And several other of these young artists. It's not just the music has changed and I'm getting older and, the complaints I have about lyricism and mumble rap and blah, 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 blah. Literally, I am hip-hop. I love hip-hop. But I began to relate to hip-hop as every 6 months a young black man is going to kill another young black man. So to see those two different energies, one person still on that, I'm going to say it, that immature, childish, murder, and the other one saying, hey, we need to reconcile, we need to be grown, to see how towards the end the energy changed.
Right.
Like, wasn't it rah, rah, rah? And it's like, I feel like we finally are beginning to see that hip-hop is growing up, because grown men don't transact business like that. And the fact that it's so popular, it's so much negativity and so much death, and it influences so many young people to literally kill themselves over nothing.
Right.
I was glad to see these two titans come together, and you were able to see it wasn't perfect. They was taking shots at one another, whatever. But towards the end, man, look, I got kids, grandkids, property.
Right.
I want the future. I want for all of us to get along. That was big to me. Very, very big.
No doubt. Once again, I'm going to clap it up for them.
Ingrid
just said he put a $10,000 bounty on that man's head, and one of the people from his own team tried to cash in on it.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
He did.
And Kim Sharif said, I'm petty. That's my middle name. Once I'm done with you, I'm done. Shout out to Majid. Peace and blessings. Welcome, Majid. Listen, I get it. Petty. Once I'm done, I'm done. I just don't think pettiness is productive, and I don't see it. I don't see it as, for a grown adult to still be petty in a lot of ways. I don't see it like as maturity or like that you're really trying to evolve, and I got to be honest with that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I could be real petty about, but I choose not to.
So for me, there's a difference in between being petty and taking someone's life. You see, our life has become so devalued as black men that it breaks my heart when one black man takes the life of another black man over some complete bullshit, over some, high school. Like, okay, here's the thing. A lot of us men believe that that's what being a man is. And so being petty, you're, first of all, let's call a thing a thing. You're being immature. You're not grown up. You're a child. You have arrested development. Because unless you putting your hands on, you could even you could even put your hands on me. Unless you threatening the life of my family, unless you're trying to put my family in physical harm, words are not going to be able to provoke me to wrath, to murder someone. So I'm glad that hip hop is finally starting to let people see that black men are grown men. We can have beefs. We can have disagreements. That don't mean I gotta put a hit out on Norm. Yeah. Just because me and you beefing.
It's still
ridiculous.
Hip hop when it comes to that. Well, today's hip hop when it comes to that, it's still at baby stages with that when it comes to that.
25 years after Tupac got killed.
Because right now, in the streets, in the streets, a lot of hip hop artists are gang members. You know what I'm saying? A lot of gang members are hip hop artists. Whatever. In the gang culture, and the hip hop culture is starting to merge now. This young hip hop culture is merging now, and it's not looking that good. It's not looking. It's a lot of little wars going on. It's a lot of little beefs going on, and my thing is over what? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm 50-something years old, so I don't get it no more. I come from the earlier stages.
Yeah, earlier stages of hip hop. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was really about lyrics with us. And if we are going to battling is part of the hip hop culture, but we left it on wax. Okay. 9 times out of 10, we left it on wax. We left it just with a beat. We left it at the party. Nowadays, people, these young kids, they're killing each other. And it's like, why? I don't understand. Why I don't get it. And it's all for street cred, and it's all to be cool, and the more bodies you got under your belt, and this and that, and everybody got to prove themselves or whatever. You can't just say what's up to somebody without mean mugging them or whatever, or where you from, what part of the town you from, and it's crazy right now. And a lot of the pettiness has resulted into deaths. So let's take this call. Caller from the 252. State your name when you calling from. Sounds like a familiar number. What's up? Caller?
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yes. Turn your
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's going on, family?
Not much, man. I turned everything down. Hopefully, y'all can hear me pretty cool.
Yes.
I see you're not wearing the Newark hoodie today. I'll let you ride on that. But yeah, I wanted to just chime in real quick. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I loved what transpired last night. I thought it was amazing.
Right.
And I was listening to some of the stuff you were saying in regards to the era that y'all grew up in, hip hop wise. I'm more 90s. I'm only 33.
Right.
The reason I liked it so much last night is because my era contributed to that. In my opinion, my era contributed into. I'm talking about the new age generation now, like a lot of these young rappers and whatnot. And you was talking about how the gang culture is kind of segueing over into the world of hip hop, and it's kind of like they're becoming one a little bit. Right. But I feel like the '90s era contributed a lot to that. And what I mean by that is people are a product of their environment, and kids imitate or tend to navigate to what it is that they see, what it is they idolize, things like that. And if you think about it, a lot of the era that I grew up in the 90s, I mean, that's what was portrayed. It was portrayed that, black men are hard, that we are gangster, that if you talk to me this way, I'm going to respond to you this way. Right. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't look at it like, oh, they not legit. Until you get older and you like, okay, he really wasn't about that. Like there's two main real rappers from the 90s that I always say is legit. And that's DMX and Beanie Siegel.
Okay.
For me. But when I was growing up, I was like, everybody's real. Like, that's what I was thinking. But as I got older, I'm like, okay, some of it is just lip service. Some of it is just putting out, this aura of, or this makeup or this camouflage of who I'm trying to portray. Right. And some of it is legit. So what I'm saying, though, is that era contributed a lot to it. And the reason that I like what transpired so much last night is because they're like, yo, let's dead all of that.
Right.
It's not about finger pointing, but it's just like we can handle things in a different way. And the thing that tripped me out about last night, people was crucifying Jeezy on social media. Like, Stu, your man's died from this beef, and y'all gonna kumbaya it? And I'm like, this is the same message that Meek just tried to put out a few weeks ago.
Right.
I'm gonna put these rappers on if y'all could dead some of these beefs in town, and people was crucifying him for it. Like, nah, you think I'm gonna be cool with somebody who killed my man? And then it was cool to see that Jeezy followed up with it. It was like, nah, we can't do that. I'm not saying Gucci did any of that, but regardless, his man died from a beef.
Right.
So I'm just saying in general, I thought that was major last night.
Yeah, it was.
Very major.
It was. If nobody didn't take nothing else from that, like I said, to me, the message last night was bigger than the music.
So if I may, if we want to talk about eras, if we look at Run DMC was from Queens, Jamaica, Queens. Okay. So was LL, for instance. Okay. I am from Queens. My mother's from Queens. Queens in the 80s, you see, was as serious as it came. And you know what? Another place that was serious? West Philly. But this soft guy, this punk who doesn't curse, these artists were from that. But they made a conscious decision not to portray that.
Right.
I respect the sanctity of all human life. And I'm saying that was by design. Because early stages of hip-hop was funded by the streets.
Right.
Hip-hop was funded through drug dealing, etc. And the pioneers like a LL Cool J, a Will Smith, and etc. are as hard as they come because they were getting financed by that element.
Right.
But they chose not to portray that. Somewhere down the line, and then also gang culture. How did gang culture start? Gangs started to protect the neighborhood, and then it got bastardized into this other thing. It was by design that black men were trained to think that their life didn't matter. It's not a conspiracy, it's a fact. And for the people that were crucifying a man for being a man to say that your life matters is stupidity at its finest. So it's going to take a long time. Like when you turn an ocean liner in the ocean, you turn the wheel, it takes a long time for the rudder to turn the ship. Right. And what you're seeing is it turn back to our humanity because us killing ourselves over and over and over and over and over and then getting on then saying stop police brutality is insanity.
Right. Facts.
Insanity.
Facts. Neff, appreciate you always calling in, dropping some jewels.
Neff, respect.
No doubt.
Ain't no problem, man. Y'all be good, man. I'll dial in next time. Y'all be good.
Respect.
No doubt. Peace and blessings. Listen, man. And that's my whole thing. And a lot of times people just want to stoke the flames. There are people that really get a rise off of keeping beef going. You know, it's like they thrive off of keeping the beef going.
Yeah, they're enemies of the people.
And this is in life in general. And we're talking about this in relation to music. And then I want to get into, again, the whole Will Smith, Janet Hubert thing again, because when I watched it in its entirety last night, and I'm about to show y'all the clip so we can build on it a little bit more. But when I watched it in its entirety, bruh, it was emotional for me.
Me too.
Because when we talk about this thing today, and this is why I want y'all to share this particular show out, when we talk about these petty beefs that we hold on to, these grudges that we hold on to, man, I'm telling you right now, it's like a cancer, and it eats you up inside, and it festers and it festers, and if you don't deal with it,
it'll literally kill you.
It will basically kill you. It will basically kill you. And you know, for Will Smith to say I could not do this 30th year reunion without you. You know, I just couldn't do this without you. And I'm glad they sat down and she said how she felt. He said how he felt.
They were hurt. They hurt each other.
Yeah, they hurt each other.
Yep.
You know, and at the end of the day, we just have to learn how to communicate better. We have to communicate our grievances with each other properly.
Yep.
I have a grievance with you.
Yep.
I have you have a grievance with me.
Yep.
Call me up right now. You got a grievance with me. Call me up, 646-233-1302. You got a grievance with Woo. You call him up, 646-233-1302. And let's air it out. Let's communicate. Let's talk about it. And let's work through it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at what point in life do you just really get on your grown man and she put in your big girl drawers or your big boy drawers, whatever, and you say, listen, enough is enough. Let's deal with this. Because every time I'm seeing you, you know, it's like you want to punch me in the face and, you know, choke me out. And, you know, I see you, I want to punch you in the face, choke you out, whatever like that. No. Let's talk about it and let's move on from it. And let's try to reconcile if it's all possible.
Before you run the clip, there are people in my life that I've done wrong. I'm thinking about my cousin, for instance, my female who I miss dearly, who I legitimately say, hey, look, you know, I'm sorry for the things that I've done. I've matured. Please forgive me. And she wasn't able to get past that. She's continued to just be where she was or whatever. And I miss my cousin. But after I have in good faith said, listen, I've done wrong, please forgive me, and the person keeps attacking and keep attacking, that's when I wipe my hands. And I think that's different from me being angry and not wanting to let go. As long as I know in my heart that I've apologized to you, that's when it's on you. I hope that we can reconcile. I hope that we're able to come back together. But if not, I'm not going to continue to be like in a toxic relationship where the person is still just as angry and holding on and bitter. Listen, people are in that state for a reason. It's suffering, and I have a great deal of compassion for it. But if you know in your heart, you have in good faith said, please forgive me, they don't accept it, you got to push.
Yo, shout out to Majid. Majid said, I forgive you, Normie Bradley, for taking my Gazelle glasses, fam. I don't even remember, but if I did, bro, Majid, if I could find somewhere where they sell Gazelles still,
my God.
I got you, fam. I got you.
Did you take his Bally's too?
Forgive me, my brother.
His pinstripe leads.
I was rocking Clark's.
Oh,
Clark's back then.
Clark's.
All right. Shout out to Majid. He said, if you are still petty at our age, you are very immature.
Right.
But as far as these kids, 20s and 30s, they are very immature, and a lot of them can't fight. No, a lot of them can't fight, and they resort to guns,
right,
and other types of weapons and everything. Kim Sheree said, okay, Norm, you don't know that we're beefing. The way you can fix it is to go on Mixcloud and play some throwback tunes.
Well said.
Listen, man.
That's funny.
Listen, I'm just saying, because some of y'all hold on to these family beefs.
Family beefs are the worst.
Yeah. And good friendships that y'all once have, y'all throw it away over something petty, over some BS. And I see it all the time. I read about it on Facebook all the time. And I can't stand when you think you can resolve your beef, or you got to put your beef out there on Facebook for the world to see.
I hate that.
You know what I'm saying?
Hate that.
After you already blocked the person you beefing with.
But now you throwing their laundry in the street.
Yeah, so you throwing the dirty laundry out there on Facebook.
Right.
I got a problem with that, man.
Right.
Listen.
People do that.
Take it to that person. You know, that's what I said. You got beef with me, call in 646-233-1302.
Right.
Call in and we can resolve it. I'm 50-something years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can resolve it. Same thing with Woo.
Absolutely.
Let's show this clip before y'all do call in. Let's show this clip real quick, and let's talk about them being on their grown person-ish.
This has been tough.
Yeah.
Has it been tough for you?
Yes, it has.
Yeah. I just wanted to know one thing. Why? Why so far? You guys went so far. I lost so much.
I think what would be
How do we heal that?
helpful for me is like
You look good, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You look beautiful, as always.
We get cut off. Just go to YouTube.
So I think it would be helpful for me. Like, I don't know your story.
Oh, well.
The Wave was our first mattress with more advanced ergonomic.
We will come back while that's coming back.
skip
We
that.
are running it from YouTube. But if we get cut off, okay, here we go. We back. Ain't that some ish? All right.
I know.
They offered me this really bad deal in the third season. They
They said, you've got 2 months and 2 weeks of work, and you cannot work anywhere else. So that meant my salary was cut. I had a new baby and a husband who was out of work. So I said no. I did not accept their offer. I was never fired. When I left the show, I had this new baby and no one. Family disowned me. Hollywood disowned me. My family said, you've ruined our name. And I wasn't unprofessional on the set. I just stopped talking to everybody because I didn't know who to trust because I had been banished. And they said it was you who banished me.
Everything was a threat to me.
Why was I a threat?
Not you, the world. I was so driven by fear and jokes and comedy and all of that.
Yeah, you were live. You were live.
You know.
But what you didn't realize either, that I was going through a lot at home.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You didn't know. You guys didn't know. Very abusive marriage.
You know, I have children.
Yeah.
I've been divorced and got a second marriage, and I can see now the level of pain and the level of struggle that it was for you just to show up every day. And then...
But you took all that away from me. Mm-hmm. With your words. You know, words can kill. Mm-hmm. I lost everything. Reputation, everything. And I understand you were able to move forward, but you know those words, calling a black woman difficult in Hollywood is the kiss of death. Mm-hmm. It's the kiss of death, and it's hard enough being a dark-skinned black woman in this business. But I felt it was necessary for us to finally move forward.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that I have blasted you to pieces.
Yeah, so lots of comments on this already.
Interesting.
That was a great clip.
Yeah. Listen, man, I saw that, and I almost had allergies.
I definitely cried watching that.
Yeah, I almost had allergies. I was watching it with my wife, so I was trying, play it off, be tough, whatever.
Right.
But I watched it, and I just watched how two people that really had problems with each other, they came together and they sat down like grown folks, and they worked that ish out. And when they came out, they haven't seen each other in a minute. It came out, they embraced each other. It was a great big hug and everything. And y'all definitely got to check it out. It's definitely something to watch.
So what I saw, right, despite the beef, were two people that had a great deal of affection for one another. Whatever side you want to take, who's ever right or who's ever wrong. The thing about conflict resolution is when you are trying to reconcile, you have to hear what the other person says and honor their experience. Though, let's say you said something and you didn't feel like what you said was wrong in any way, shape, or form. Oh, you're crazy. Y'all know I'm get out my face. When you're reconciling with someone, you have to honor their experience, honor their perspective. That's the first thing. The second thing, we should all endeavor to be more compassionate because you simply do not know what another person's going through. So a person could be acting out, but you don't know, for instance, they're having trouble in their marriage. And as someone who had trouble in his marriage, that's hell, brother. You understand? Like it changed my body chemistry. You understand? Like so understand that your words have power and what you do and what you say affect other people. Be more compassionate, be more kind. And I love to see the maturity of both people, of not just one person. Listen, none of us know what really happened. We were on the show yesterday having an opinion about what we thought was going to go on, whatever.
Right.
But just remember, you don't know what happened. So if two people choose to put the past behind them, I think you should honor it and respect it just as much as you do with beef. The same way you project beef and you go, look who's fighting with this person, and look who did this, and look who did that. The same way you shit on people when they're down, you should take that same energy and project reconciliation.
Facts. Caller from the 770, state your name, where you calling from.
Hey, this is Ingrid calling from Atlanta.
Hey, Ingrid. What's good? ATL.
Hey, how you doing? So I'm sort of on the fence about forgiveness. I feel like there are some situations where it's okay to forgive the person,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's some things that people can do to you that's just unforgivable.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people want to apologize, and it's just a transference of guilt or that negative energy that they want to put on to you, right? So we have to be careful of those type of things too. So you can't keep, I know people who just keep doing dirty things to people. And then when it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, like that's just supposed to just always wipe the slate clean, and really not taking real accountability for their actions, and really not even trying to change, right? So I don't know if all the time that somebody like being bitter or wanting to hold on to their anger and stuff. Sometimes you don't deserve to be forgiven. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay, all right. I get what you're saying, but here's the thing, right? So everybody, when it comes to forgiveness, you get that shot as far as if you're trying to apologize to me for some dirt you did to me, right? If I see it's sincere, if I feel in my heart it's sincere, then I don't expect for it to ever happen again. You know what I'm saying? Now, like you said, if the person keeps constantly doing dirt after dirt after dirt, shady things after shady things, then you know that apology wasn't sincere. Then that's when you get met with the opposition from me, because now I know you're just not being sincere and you don't really mean what you say when you're trying to apologize or make amends. But I think everybody deserves that, at some point in a situation. So if you beefing with your girlfriend, Ingrid, over some petty little beef y'all had, because she wore the same dress to the party after you told her what dress you was going to wear, and you beefing with her over that or whatever, I think that could be worked out. If you beefing, if she cheated with your man, I think she still has a right to apologize, even though it hurts you. She has a right, whether you accept it or not. That's on you.
So
right.
I do believe in forgiveness. What you're speaking to is intention. If you are able to sense that the person doesn't truly mean that they're forgiven, that is disingenuous, you have every right to feel that. However, Jesus Christ, for instance, said we need to crucify our flesh. Or in Buddhism, we say, we have to separate from our emotions. When I'm dealing with a person that hurt me, right? What I began to think is, this is who and what this person is. This is the capacity that they have. I don't know why they're acting out. I don't know their story. I also remember that there were times when I was completely out of my mind and done wrong to people. But then I matured. I evolved. I changed.
Right.
So with the same measure that I would like for someone to forgive me, I want to forgive them now. That doesn't mean I'm still entangled in toxic relationships, still allowing people to take advantage of me, still doing that type of thing.
And you don't have to deal with each other anymore.
You don't. But compassion dictates that I am compassionate for myself. I'm compassionate to the other person. And I do forgive. And then I release that person. Right? In other words, my bitterness, that energy that I put out comes back to me and hurts me. So if my grandpa used to beat my butt when he was drunk in 1987, grandpa been dead since 1989.
Right.
And a person that's dead, right, is still negatively, I'm still having a negative impact because I am now responsible for the energy that I project. So I'm not soft. I'm not suggesting that you be that. But when you walk around in a state of bitterness and unforgiveness, it doesn't eat away at the person.
Right.
It eats away at you.
Caller from the 410.
Speak on it.
State your name, where you calling from.
Caller
from the 410.
That's still me connected. I don't know if you meant to hang up on me and pick up another call.
What? My bad. Hold on. All right, Ingrid, thanks for calling in. We trying to take this other call.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Okay, all right. Caller from the 410, call back. The number is 646-223-1302. No, I hear exactly what you're saying, bro.
You have to free yourself from that energy.
But I
can't carry that.
I see so many so many beefs going on, so many family beefs and grudges, especially around this house. Like you get around the holiday season, you start to think about family a little bit more. You know, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and things to call. Caller from the 410. State your name where you calling from. Turn your computer down in the back. Caller from the 410.
Kishana from Maryland.
Kishana from Maryland, welcome. Welcome to the show. Talk to us.
Speak on it.
Okay. I'm turning the volume down.
All right.
All right. So forgiveness is for you, but this man blackballed her entire life. She was not able to get any work after that. And she struggled financially. She struggled professionally. And 30 or whatever it is, 25 years later, now all of a sudden you want to say, I'm sorry? I mean, Will Smith, we have watched him grow up in front of us. Yes, he has made some good advantages to the world, as well as some things that was not acceptable, you know, smaller things. But I think on his part, the apology is just the beginning. It is not, you know, and an apology is just the beginning of the forgiveness phase. So while some of us may feel like some things are unforgivable, I feel like he needs to do more. All because of his insecurities.
Right.
It's just not right.
Right. Now,
and like she said, you know, his word choice banished her from getting work.
Right.
That was her job.
Right. Now, to speak in reference to Will, he was 21 years old. All right. So I know I've done some dumb things at 21. I have said some dumb things at 21. I have said some hurtful things at 21 years old. Right. And he did say, well, I was 21. Now, that doesn't excuse it all the way. But at the same time, you know, we got to look at the history of them two, too. He did try to reach out at one point in time, and he did send her some money at one point in time. And then she blasted him again saying, I don't want your charity. You know, right? So as years progressed, whatever, I heard he did try to reach out. So now, you know, all these years later, she's on the show, and they're starting the healing process or whatever like that. We don't know what may take place from this. You know, he has a production company. We don't know if she may get more acting gigs now because of this or whatever. You know, and that healing process has started. You do have to let the stages of forgiveness play out, because they can play out into a positive light. You know what I'm saying? But I get exactly what you're saying, Kishana. You know, her whole career was destroyed, basically, over his words and over his immaturity at that point in time. You know, but at, you know, we got to get to the point to where we accept people's apology or whatever. You know, because I don't want to get to the point to where I just never can forgive somebody because of what they done for me, what they done to me. You know what I'm saying?
So
right, I agree.
So I have done things that I regret at 21, 31, 41, 50. I have wronged people. You understand me? And I acknowledge that, and I endeavor every day to try to correct that. Here's my mantra. I am responsible for the condition of my own life, irregardless as to what was done to me, who said what, who blackballed me. Now, I'm not saying this is an easy thing to walk, because it is not. Sometimes I just want to give up and that's it. But I know what bitterness and anger can do to me. Because I was bitter, angry, had abandonment issues. We can run down the list of my crap. I know that prevents me from seeing the world accurately. Guess what in life? Guess what? People are going to do you wrong. They're going to misrepresent you like they did with Jesus, who never did anything wrong. It is your responsibility to move on and to acknowledge as a human being that you don't know what is going on with the other person. So listen. I agree with Kishana.
Yeah, and
but
I don't. Her something.
But I don't know. Okay, I agree with Kishana, but I am not in a position to speak to why someone is the way they are. Because we all wear masks. We're all immature. We all F up. It's not for me to judge that. But I know how destructive I have become and have been when I have that in my heart. It makes my energy Bad.
So let me ask Kishana, if you feel like sharing it, has it been something that you've done in your life that you wanted forgiveness for?
Yes, I'm sure there has been. But, it all comes down to, like, what you guys were mentioning about being mature. You have to be emotionally mature to be accountable for your part in something.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not always at the point where we can say, you know what, I hurt you. I'm sorry. Please, let's move on. What do I need to do to amend what I've done?
Mm-hmm.
People don't know how to do that because they're not emotionally equipped to deal with, you hurt me, period. Whether you realize it or not, like Dawood said earlier, you have to be able to actively listen to somebody to understand what you did to hurt them or to, make them feel some kind of way or be in their feelings.
Right.
And a lot of us are not there. We are just not there. And it causes this anger, this disruption, and this bitterness, and it's hard. It's hard, but a lot of us are not there. And it comes with a walk. Some of us are not willing to deal with our own crap.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are not ready to let go of the childhood things that happened to us. I mean, you can't, like he said, you can't hold on to an ass whooping you got 20 years ago from someone who is gone. But some of us hold on to pain because people in pain hurt people. That's true. You can't take nothing from that. But I'm glad and I'm proud of him for actually taking the step to do what he did, because I was wondering if he was going to invite her. And I was very, proud that he did that, because we need to see that as human beings. We need to see people make wrongs right. So I applaud his efforts for that.
Facts. And I hate to say this. Some people want to hold on to a grudge so much that they're not looking for closure.
Oh yeah, of course. Victimhood gives them power.
That they just not looking for closure on certain things. And for me, I don't care if it's a relationship or whatever the case may be. I need closure on a situation before I could effectively move on with my life. You know what I'm saying? And be, you know what I'm saying? And just be a whole person again. Because when you don't get that closure in your life, you just don't feel like a complete person.
So for me, I agree with both you and Kishana. For me.
Thank you, Kishana, for calling in. We appreciate you.
Respect.
Thank you. Have a good day, brother.
All right.
For me, what I would like to say is my compassion is dictated by the fact that I want compassion from another person. And everything Kishana was saying, I have to understand that a person might not have the capacity to give me what I want. You see, my father was abusive to me. My father was abusive to me, and he was an alcoholic, and then he died. First thing I have to do is forgive him, then recognize how my behavior patterns have matched his and how I've perpetrated the type of things that I didn't want to see. And thirdly, I need to realize to remove myself from emotion and to accept a person as they are and not judge them. I'm a very judgmental person. You hurt me, you did this, you're bad, you this, that. Once I remove my judgments of that person out of the equation, it frees me to see that person as a person, and it frees me to see what role I played in it. I'm not victim bashing. I'm not saying being disingenuous. I'm saying to crucify your flesh, leave the judgment to God, honestly and earnestly forgive that person, and watch this. Maybe in 10 years, that person will be in the place where they can forgive, or maybe they won't. You have to release people and allow people to be where they are. You are not the arbiter of anyone else's life. When I was an asshole, people took compassion on me. When you met me and put me on the air, it was bad. You know what I'm saying? But you allowed me to evolve and grow. Go ahead, take the call.
Listen. Caller from the 404. State your name, where you calling
from.
You're on the Man Cave Show. What's up?
Caller.
404?
Caller from the 404.
It says speaker muted. How do we unmute this speaker?
You don't just click the icon and unmute?
Because I never had to.
Yeah, like what's...
Let me see.
Gremlins. Caller, are you there?
Microphone and speakers are muted. Maybe because... Let's see. All right. Just keep on talking to the people. I'll figure it out.
Oh, so you want the caller to call back? Okay, so releasing yourself from value judgment. It is not my position. Okay. I try not to be this way, but of course I'm judgmental. I'm not a hypocrite. But I understand this principle. It is not my position to put a value judgment on anything or anyone because I don't know that person's story. I'm responsible for the condition of my own life. And if I find myself in a situation that is toxic, it is my responsibility. Okay, caller. It is my responsibility to remove myself from that toxic thing, to forgive that person and move on. It is not my position to say, I judge you. You're not this, you're not that. People are where they are. And I am grateful that people have allowed me in my immaturity and foolishness to be where I was so that I could get an opportunity to grow. When you cut someone else off like that, you're affecting your own karma because then someone is not going to forgive you when you need to be forgiven.
Caller.
Oh, they hung up.
Caller from the 973. State your name when you calling from.
Right.
It's Shadiva. I have a question for Dr. Dawu.
Yes.
What if you've forgiven him, that person,
several
times because they've done the same thing over and over and over again? You keep forgiving them,
Yes.
And you just finally get to the point where, you know what, I forgive you, but I need you to be out of my life because I can't no longer tolerate what you keep doing. You say, forgive me for doing what I've done.
Yes.
And then you do it again.
So, sis, is this an affirmation or a question? Because if I want you out of my life, it's my responsibility to put you there. You see, if I make a decision, life is just choices. What choice do we make? With all the history and as much as I love you and we got kids together, if you're toxic, it is my responsibility to teach people how to treat me. That is to establish boundaries. No, we don't talk. No, we can't be around each other. No, you set the boundary until eventually the person gets the hint that
Diva,
we have to cut.
Yeah, it's okay to forgive somebody and not want to deal with them again. That is okay. I have forgiven people, and I decided for myself, for my own good, not to ever deal with them ever again. But I forgave them, and I let them know, listen, I know what you did was jacked up. It was messed up. It really hurt me. It destroyed me to a point. But now I'm better now. I'm glad we're discussing this. I'm glad we're talking about this. I forgive you. I heard everything you're saying, and we're good. If we see each other on the street, there's no animosity, whatever.
Yes.
We just can never deal again ever. And that's okay, too. There's nothing wrong with that. Just because you forgive somebody don't mean you have to start hanging out and being buddy-buddy and chummy-chummy with them again or rekindle some old flames or whatever like that. Nah.
And
forgive and move on.
To follow what General said, after that conversation has been had, there is no longer a conversation. Meaning, if I have made up in my mind to cut you out of my life, you no longer get access to me. You don't get to know when I'm quiet or sad or,
I've done it to several people. Because I'm a giving person, and I think being so giving, it's being taken for granted, for lack of a better word, and it just comes to a point where I'm just like, you know what, I'd rather be over here by myself than to deal with all of this fake, bougie, whatever you want to do.
Absolutely.
And only have you call me when you need me. But when I need you, you ghost.
Right.
But I would like to add to Diva, as you're being self-reflective, you need to ask yourself why you are attracting this type of energy. I didn't say I'm blaming you. I didn't say it was your fault. I said when you are by yourself and alone with God, you need to go back over the Rolodex of your history to see, okay, this person was this way, whatever. But there was another person and another person, meaning I now have to take responsibility for the toxicity that I draw to myself. I didn't say I don't understand that a person has responsibility to do me wrong. I know that the outside entity did me wrong. But karma dictates I need to look at why this energy is being attracted to me. What's going on with me? And that has absolutely nothing to do with the other person at all.
Here's where I'm in the middle with what you just
Go
said.
ahead.
I agree and disagree.
Please.
With what you just said.
Please.
Because you can be, and Diva, to your point, you could be the sweetest person in the world, the nicest person in the world, right? And then that's never reciprocated. It's just never reciprocated by, you expected, you being nice to somebody gonna be nice to you back. You doing favors for somebody gonna do favors for you back or whatever. So what I kind of train myself to stop expecting people to be me. I train myself to stop expecting people to be me. All right? So we see all these memes about making your circle smaller and all of this, whatever the case may be. I've done that over the years. I made my circle hella small because I realized I was giving more than I was receiving. Now,
right.
And let me correct this.
Go ahead.
Not to say that I give just to receive back, because I give because I want to give. But when you see people that you've been given to for so long, just don't return that same energy, right? It makes you say, you know what? I still love them, but I'm gonna love them from a distance.
From afar, yes.
Yes, and it's nothing.
Now,
there's
let's
nothing wrong
talk
with
about
that.
how we can piece up our differences. Let's talk about how we can piece up our differences, Norm.
Let's talk about it.
I need a mix. I need a mix. I'm just saying.
You got it. You got it, Diva. It's coming. And actually, it's funny you said that because I just ordered a whole bunch of flash drives because, people don't want CDs no more. They want flash drives now. So I just ordered a whole bunch today. So I'm actually doing several mixes later on today and Sunday. So you got that.
And
you got that.
If I just might add one more thing before Diva goes, I'll take myself, for instance. I have struggled with abandonment issues because my mother and my father broke up when I was real young, and I had to go see my brother in Queens. And at the end of the summer, it would break my heart, right, that I had to separate them, causing me issues in my relationships, blah, 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 blah. Here is the issue. Because of that particular issue, I have several, but because of that particular issue, that means I would attract people emotionally aloof or unable to provide me with the emotional stability that I needed because of my past, meaning I was used to not receiving emotional support. So as I grew and I became older, I would get in relationships with women that weren't emotionally supportive or invalidating me. I am not blaming the women. I said me, what I had to examine. In other words, okay, I see this person is unable to provide what I need. Yet, I love you. Please, don't leave me. Blah, 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 blah. That is an issue of an attachment. That's an attachment issue and stuff like that. That is for me to address. This is why relationship, some of it, not all of it, because I'm crazy. But this is why relationship after relationship, there will be this similarity because of this separation that I had that I'm able to compartmentalize, and I also feel like I don't deserve love, blah, 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 blah. I don't feel like that way now. But when I'm in a relationship and Diva, and you see these same patterns happening over and over and over again, that's when you're supposed to think about yourself and examine yourself. Right? And you can't do that if you're bitter and angry towards
Muslim men. And I was married to a Muslim man, and when we divorced, that kind of made me look a certain kind of way to Muslim men. So now, for me, and it's something that I need to work on, if you're a Muslim man and you come towards me, right away my shield goes up like,
Well,
that's big of you to acknowledge.
You know
thank
what?
you for acknowleding that. That's what I have to say about that. Because we know all Muslim men aren't the same, but thank you for acknowledging that.
I attract strong women, strong-willed women.
Me too.
Right? I never attract the passive, easy-going.
Neither have I.
Quiet, shy type of woman or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It's like I attract strong-willed women. I have no problem with that. But I realized a certain point in my life that I was loving too fast.
Oh God!
Yes, I realized
too.
At a certain point in my life.
I need to hang up because you about to preach on me.
Yes. Listen,
too.
I was loving too fast.
On that, sir.
And sometimes
I love you.
When you're the type of person that just love people too fast,
I love you.
That has to do with something that you're lacking. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And my whole
and
thing
it's so funny because I've always been told by different men You'd make a great wife, but you're a horrible girlfriend.
Yeah, well, you know what? And then listen, there's an art to being both. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ever been told, well, you know what? I love the hell out you, but I just don't like you sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's a reality check for your ass. That's a reality check for you because you have to realize, well, what? You love the hell out of me, but you just don't like me sometimes. And then you have to start. You have to start kind of trying to fix yourself. You have to start examining yourself a little bit more. You have to look into the mirror a little bit more and be like, listen, this is what I need to readjust about me. Because a lot of times, listen, a lot of us, and shout out to everybody that's listening, but I gotta say something, and y'all gonna be mad. Sometimes we think we have it all together.
Oh my God.
Sometimes we think we know all the daggone answers to every damn thing. And we don't. Listen.
And we don't say we sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Norm don't got in the word, my Kanye voice. Norm don't got the answers.
You don't got the answers, Sway.
You ain't got the answers. Diva, you ain't got all the answers.
I'm mad as hell. I'm not gonna take it anymore.
Majid, you ain't got all the answers. Tammy Walker, you don't got all the answers.
You get a car.
You ain't got all the answers. Amy Prince, you ain't got all the answers. Lena, you don't have all the answers. All right? And so my thing is, this is why we're all here. Because there's something that Diva can say when she calls in.
Yeah, that would touch
a certain nerve
of other people,
of somebody else, and say, you know what? Now that Diva said that, maybe I need to start looking at things this way.
Yes.
Or readjust. Now that Wu said that, maybe I start. Now that Norm said that, maybe I should start looking at things a certain way. And this is what this show is for.
Yep.
Because listen, none of us got all the damn answers.
No.
And when you start thinking that you do, you setting yourself up for failure.
Yes,
You're setting yourself up for failure, whether it be relationships, whether it be business, I don't care, whether it be family, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm glad we're having this discussion about pettiness and grudges and forgiveness.
Wait, let me digress on that. When I said I'm petty, I'm petty to the point where I'm not trying to kill nobody and nothing like that. I'm petty to the point where, all right, you know what? You done put that little X in my heart. I can't be bothered with you no more. Don't just lose the number, drop the number, act like you don't know me. Don't look at me. Don't call me. Don't do nothing. That's my pettiness.
So Diva.
Yeah, I had a problem with Diva before because listen, she gonna bring chicken boxes, right? So when she distributing the food, I noticed she put a couple more pieces of chicken in my boy's box, and I'm like, yo, hold up. So the chicken wasn't evened out. So I didn't speak.
Are you talking about the barbecue beer wings?
Yep. So I didn't speak to Diva for 2 whole days.
Wait, to defend myself. Mm-hmm. Y'all said he didn't drink alcohol, so he had y'all had the Henny wings. He didn't have any other wings, but except for the barbecue beer wings.
Oh, that's your excuse? That's your excuse? You know what? I'm going to forgive you.
I love you.
We're going to move past this. But anyway, love you, Diva. Thanks for calling in, sis.
And before you go, you got to, okay. Well, she can listen to this off the air. This is what I would.
Call's popping.
So
I don't even know where it's coming from.
Caller, let me make this point.
Call back in.
So I would just like to make this quick point. As a proud, reformed, petty Parker that I was, my pettiness stemmed from childhood insecurities and the fact that I felt powerless.
Caller, hold on 1 second.
Now watch this. As a child, something would go on and I was powerless to stop it, or I wanted to stay with my brother in Queens, but it was time to go back to East Orange, and didn't matter what I could. Okay, watch this. I am not powerless at all. Now I'm a grown man. That's number one. I'm not powerless. I have the power to make a decision. That's number one. Number two, I'm not a victim. Number three, I'm not a sinner. I'm just Dawood. So when you stop feeling powerless, the pettiness starts to go down, because what you're accessing is this childhood insecurity where I'm unable to control anything. You know what I'm able to control? Myself. And the fact that I can control myself gives me confidence to step into the world in a brave fashion, open and honest. instead of saying, I'm still holding on to these issues. A lot of times, anger and bitterness and resentment comes from a sense of powerlessness or listen, in order for me to fix myself, something outside of myself has to fix it.
Facts.
God, the devil, this, that, and the other. Caller.
Caller from the 404. State your name when you calling from.
This is Troublemaker. I'm calling from Atlantic City.
Atlantic City. What's good? What's going on, man?
Speak on it.
I was listening to what you were saying about, you don't have the answer to everything, and no do diva or woo or kiss or anybody like that. And it's funny that you made that comment, because a young lady had made a comment yesterday that she had a problem, and I said that I commented on her thing, and I said, if you listen to BKS1 more, you'll get your answers in increments, because everybody basically
Good point.
give up an answer that may help you.
Right, right. Respect.
Now, back to the topic thing. I got a beef with you, Norm.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm not going to say what it was, what the gift was, but I'm quite sure, and I could be wrong, I'm quite sure that you didn't hook up with the internet into the thing that you were supposed to hook it in. I'm trying to keep it on the DL. I ain't trying to put you out there and throw you under the bus. But I take things like, y'all are my BKS1 family. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the ladies. I appreciate the guys. But you hurt my feelings because I took time to purchase that. And I don't purchase stuff for guys. So what you got to say for yourself?
Sorry?
Yeah, I said it. Oh, come on now.
I apologize. Look, man, I got to take a call, man. I got to take another call.
Sorry.
That's crazy. All right.
Troublemaker, love you.
Caller from the 336. State your name where you calling from. You're on the Man Cave Show.
Walker, and I'm currently sitting on the deck in Florida having a cocktail and a Cubana cigar.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
And I want to let you know I am petty as F. I am petty. You know, a lot of people
Why is
they
that?
don't want to admit to nothing. They don't want to admit to it. They don't want to feel some kind of way. I am petty as hell. Okay? If you do something to me, 9 times out of 10, like, I'm not going to just go out and look for you to do anything. I'm not that way. But if the opportunity presents itself, good Lord, kukamoo, okay? You're going to get it.
See,
okay?
Listen.
Sorry, not sorry.
Come on now, Tammy. Now listen, you know, we at this point in our life where we gotta let that petty stuff slide, man. We gotta let that slide.
And you know what? That all sounds good in theory. But when you trying to be an angel and you got your little halo, it's always people that are trying you to knock you off your square. Now, when I say I'm petty, that means that I take the opportunity to check you. Now, I don't go around normally checking people, but I consider myself a certified checker. Okay? I'm not proud of it. But if there's an opportunity to service stuff and I get to do it, I will be petty. I will take that opportunity. I will, say my father always got on me. You always have to have the last word, and it's not good. And what my father said about me is so true. He wasn't lying. He wasn't. But I've learned now with my husband. Now it depends on the person. Let me just say that it depends on the person and the situation. Because my husband carries himself in such a manner that I feel kind of off-putting if I'm like that with him. I'm feeling bad almost. So it's the person that I'm with and the company that I'm keeping. But if the company will allow me to be petty, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to be petty. And that's just my honest answer.
So do you think that's productive?
Right.
No, I don't think it's productive, but it's very human.
Okay. All right.
When I called you, I wasn't calling you to be right. I was calling you because I'm dead ass wrong. I want to know what you guys tell me. I'm dead ass. I want to know what can you guys tell me so I can be better in that area, because that seems to be my weakness. My weakness is the pettiness, and my thing is people know how to incite that in me because they know that they know triggers, and when they do the triggers, I almost always answer the call.
Well, what do they always say? Half the battle is admitting that you have a problem. So you know you have a problem with pettiness now. So now you need to catch yourself. You need to catch yourself, Tammy, when you know you feel yourself about to be petty when it comes to your girlfriends, when it comes to your coworkers, right?
True.
When you need to catch yourself and be like, you know what? I'm about to be petty. I'm about to, be real petty. Let me just fall back. Let me refrain from what I was about to say or do.
So as
you know what, Norm? It seems like I need to be hanging around you and Sandy so you guys can rub off on me because it ain't there. It ain't there.
So
Sandy petty as hell
That's
too.
my aunt.
Maybe me.
If you mess with me and you do something, I'm like I said, I ain't coming looking for you. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna walk right in that door. I'm so sorry to say that. I'm just being straight up with y'all. I am.
So 20
okay?
so 20 years ago, when I was getting released from Green Street, anyone from Newark knows what the Green Monster is, and I was standing before the judge, and the judge ordered me to A, go to anger management, or B, go back to jail. I chose A. I chose A. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? First of all, as a person that's working on being judgmental and angry and petty, I have a lot of karma coming back to me. So the first thing I ask myself when somebody rail on me and cut my head off is, do I have this coming? 8 out of 10 times, let me just finish. 8 out of 10 times, I have it coming. Because I've hurt people that I forgot about. You know why I forgot about them? Because I didn't even think they were even necessary for me to remember, because I'm Dawood and you ain't Ish. So that's the first thing. The second thing, why am I giving people power over my life? What you say and what you think and what you feel has absolutely nothing to do with me.
Right.
Because if I look at my comments, I would never come back on the air because they're bad sometimes. I am not powerless. Listen, and I don't rise and fall on the opinions of other people. I recognize my imperfections, and I understand that my get back is from this sense of powerlessness and what happened to me as a child. I'm not a child.
True.
Do you love me? Good. Do you hate me? Good. You're not in a position to make me act out of character. The reason I know that is jail and high blood pressure and broken relationships and broken families and having to say I'm sorry for my kids 6,000 times.
So let me ask you.
I learned to do stuff different.
Let me ask you this, Tammy. Is there somebody in your life that you would like to reconcile a situation with?
Can I give you my honest opinion?
Yeah.
You want me to be honest?
Yep.
Okay. We being raw. It's called Raw Friday. Okay.
Yep. Raw Friday.
Well, the person hurt me so bad that I could still see them burning in the bowels of hell. I'm sorry. I'm being honest with you because we all been different places. And my thing is, I'm such a nice person. I'm so giving that for me to get petty, you have to have really done something really, really bad for me to be acting that certain. I don't go around just being the attitude chick. I'm not her. But I give so much of myself that I feel like I'm a sacrificial lamb. And after I feel like I've been sacrificed, I felt like some type of entitlement, like when it comes to the pettiness now, because I felt like I've earned the right to be petty now because I've done all this. Am I wrong? Absolutely.
So do you listen? So here's my question. Do you give to yourself as much as you give to other people? You so loving and so giving. Do you love yourself? Do you give to yourself? Do you give yourself permission to be like, yo, it's about me today?
I'm going to answer that. I just found out that I don't love myself.
Exactly.
I just found that out in therapy because I've been in therapy for a couple of years. And I always tell people it's good to go through therapy because we don't have all the answers. So we got to go to someone that actually can help us map our way and guide us through the journey. And I didn't have all the answers, and I thought that I did. And I come to find out, oh, Tammy, you're actually not a rocket scientist. But I had to find that out.
None of us are.
I had to find that out. But in finding myself, I found out that I am in error a lot because of the way I handle things. Now, I give to make I found out that I give to make myself feel good, for self-appreciation. And I found out there was something inside of me that I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to be in this person's company. So I just give. So I have nothing else to give. And then when you take advantage of me, I felt like when you took advantage of the last straw, why would you hump the last straw? Basically,
So Tammy.
So when you do that,
you are worthy.
I'm sorry.
You are worthy. Listen to me. Listen. You are worthy. You are loved. And you have permission to love yourself. Because if you don't give to yourself first, you begin to resent the people that you give to. Why you always take why you this and that and the other.
And I feel like
That's number one.
I feel like I'm posted up all the time. I want to post down.
Number two.
Right.
Setting boundaries. Meaning you cannot talk to me any type of way. You cannot do whatever you want to do. Why? Because I love myself. Now, The devils and the demons and the
Wait, stop right there. Stop right there. I need you to go back and repeat that last one. That was a jewel.
You have to, when you give to,
I can't allow you to talk to me. No, when I tell you I comprehend very well.
Listen. But it's
you
not.
You said that. Let me tell you how I took what you just said. You said that I love myself so much that I won't allow you to talk to me a certain way. Jesus, I needed to hear that today.
But let me finish it. I'm not talking from your ego. Who you think you're talking to? Why I'm such and such and so and so. I'm not talking about talking from your pain or your resentment. I'm not talking about you get back. So since somebody kicks sand in your face, you feel like you need to kick sand in another. I'm not talking about being a bully or a terrorist or being manipulative or using your feminine wiles. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying simply stating the fact, because I love myself, the least I can do is to defend myself the way I would defend my child or my man. Not I'm egotistical and I'm this and I'm that. No. Because anger and rage and unforgiveness clouds the vision. You're unable to see reality the way it really is. The reality is a lot of us, you, me, don't love ourselves. We don't think we're valuable. We don't think we deserve to be loved. This is why we tolerate what we tolerate.
But you know what? And let me say this to you, Tammy. You got to get to the point to where you value yourself so much.
Yes.
That receiving your love is a privilege.
Say that again.
You got to get to the point to where you value yourself so much that receiving your love is a privilege.
Thank you.
To someone.
I'm glad that you know what, guys.
And you love yourself too, first.
I'm humbled by this conversation. You want to know why? Because I was just going through something where I was asking myself. I said, I'm almost feeling in my life to everybody that I love, I feel like I'm a servant.
Yes.
And the reason why is because I put myself in a position to be the giver. So now it's expected of me. And when I'm not in the mood to give, everybody gets upset with me.
But you taught them how to treat you.
Conversation hit, oh my God,
you trained them to treat you that way. You trained them to think that you are the person to give and not to. You did that. You did that.
Right.
Now you have to train yourself.
What we call it self-inflicted.
You have to
self-inflicted at this point.
You have to train.
The first time it happened, I should have caught it. Yeah.
You have to train your, but it's no value judgment. I'm not judging you. Don't judge yourself. You have to train yourself. You have to train them how to train you, and it takes people a long time. Give them the grace. Give them the time that it takes. But you have to establish clear boundaries. If you don't, devils will come in and say, you're arrogant. You're supposed to help me. That's not Christ-like. You a demon, you a devil. Man, listen. I love me first. If I don't love me first, I'm unable to love you. And because I love myself, I'm able to recognize a manipulative person. See, there are people that feed off of the energy of the weak. And when they say, Norm, you're supposed to do this. You're not a good Christian. You're not a good father. You're not a good black man. That want to guilt and shame you into not defending and protecting yourself. That's on you.
Here's the thing. And let me go back to my point I was trying to make to Tammy.
Wow,
As far as your love, receiving love from you is a privilege because you have to treat it just like you're the DMV. Listen, too many violations.
License suspended.
Your license is suspended. Too many violations.
Oh my God, that was so deep.
Your license is suspended.
Wow, okay.
Real talk. So if I'm going to give you my love,
right,
and you constantly going to violate,
your license suspended.
The love that I give you, then that license is suspended.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's revoked until you do what? Pay your penalty.
I got you the word today. Okay.
Absolutely. Because guess what? No victims, only volunteers. You are responsible for the condition of your own life. I am not a victim, and you are not powerless. You have power.
Right.
Have the power to make the right decision over your life, and let the rest fly.
Facts. Listen. I love it when Tammy calls in.
Bro, I've been fed today. Normally I call in to feed, but it's nice
as
to
you
be
sip
fed.
on the mint julep in Florida.
No,
and we freezing our ass off
no
in
doubt.
Jersey.
She enjoying herself in Florida.
Sitting by the pool while I got a scully on my bald head because I'm cold.
I'm in a hot tub.
the hot tub.
Listen.
Try not to drop my phone at my brother's house and his hot tub because I came up here to cook for my brother. I'm actually going to cook and then leave on Sunday and then go back to my abode.
God bless.
So wait a minute. So wait a minute. So you're in a hot tub, sipping a drink.
That's right.
Which means what? You are loving yourself. You are loving yourself, sis.
Yes, I am. You know what?
Clap that
I want to say, I love you. I love you guys. I love BKS1 because today I got fed. There's some messages that actually spoke to my soul. And I only had one drink that spoke to my soul, but sometimes you need to hear it. And then when he said, when the way that somebody talks to you, you allow that, and you get them licensed to treat you a certain way. I was like, oh my God, because it's like the light came on.
Right, you trained them.
Because I was just going through that with a friend.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to turn it off. I wanted to dead the relationship, but I don't want to be. I'm always the aggressive one. I don't want to come off mean and everything like that. But I wanted to dead it because the relationship no longer serves me.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was being taken advantage of. So, guys, thank you so much.
Respect.
I love y'all. Happy
Love you
Friday.
too.
I'll get somebody else a chance to call and talk to. But thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Love you too,
I'm going back
Sammy.
to the hot tub and the second drink.
Enjoy. Save a wing for me.
No doubt, no doubt.
Salute.
Salute. Phone lines are officially open. You can call in
646-233-1302.
No doubt. Listen, man. And again, man, it's all about we all building, man. We all building.
Yeah, of course.
We are the host of this show, but y'all are just as much a part of this show as we are.
There's no show without them.
Yes. This is y'all's show too as well.
Doesn't work without
shout out to everybody on check-in, man. Shout out to my man DJ One Spin on the check-in. I see you, Orlando Chandler. Kim Sharif, Diva, you can use whatever status you want to. Y'all want to repost the show, share out the show.
It's the man cave.
Somebody may need to hear our discussion. Shout out to people on the YouTube side, people on the Periscope side, on the TuneIn side. A lot of y'all on TuneIn. Y'all hit me up from TuneIn. Appreciate you all.
Boss, speaking of what's needed, put up the Cash App. I'm sorry. Put up the Cash App.
Well, usually I do it at the end of the show.
No. 15 minutes before the show ends, put the Cash App up.
If you would like to send a contribution to support our programming, please Cash App $BKS1 Radio.
Oh, God.
It don't matter how small, how big, how small,
We appreciate
whatever.
you.
It's appreciated from the station, especially during these pandemic times and everything. Again, if you would like to send a contribution to support our programming here, please feel free to send it to Cash App. $BKS1 Radio. You see it right above me, right over here, somewhere right there. All right? So
right there.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man.
All right, sorry.
No doubt.
You were saying, boss?
Yeah. You don't know human resources. I'm calling human resources on you. All right.
I'm telling the boss to give me money.
You're breaking the flow.
I'm sorry. Woosah. Nam yo reggae yo.
You still in training camp, son. You going back to training camp. No doubt. But real talk, man. Listen. For anybody that still got a grudge against somebody, man, that done something to y'all years ago, or it could be 2 months ago, 3 months ago, whatever, or you holding on to some type of petty beef or whatever, again, for yourself, let it go. If you could reach out to that person that may have done you wrong, reach out to them,
yes,
and
please.
have some type of conversation, some type of dialogue that may possibly can resolve the situation, or if it can't resolve it, to bring some type of understanding to why the situation even happened in the first place. Do it, man.
Please.
Make it happen. There's people that I've met through my journey in life that are mad with me, and I don't know why the hell they mad at me.
Right.
Or upset with me, and I don't even know why the hell they upset with me, because you know why? We never had that conversation, or they never was man or woman enough to sit down and have that conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. You know, it's like we have to start changing our thinking, man, because it's no good to no one to constantly hold on to something and not let it go. Your body's even built to a certain type of way. If you drink too much, what's going to happen? You're going to throw it up.
Right.
Yep.
You
have to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's poisoning you or bothering you or becoming toxic in your system, your body has a way of rejecting that. It's the same thing with holding on to these petty emotions or holding on to these grudges or for something that you know could be worked out. And even if possibly, again, you won't find a solution for it, at least communicate enough to where you find out where the problem stemmed from. Because some of y'all don't even know where the problem initially stemmed from because you never took the time to have a conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So get that out your system, man. Learn to purge your system. Learn to purge your emotions. Purge
Absolutely.
them. Learn to purge your emotions, man. I'm telling you right now, we gotta do that, man.
Sometimes our emotions prevent us from seeing things the way they accurately are.
Facts.
I'm unable to see myself, and I'm able to see the person that has done me wrong. You see? So you have to, like you said, purge your emotions, crucify your flesh, meditate, whatever.
Yeah, you got to.
So that you can see, you can overstand instead of understanding, meaning you can see the fault that you had, you can see the fault that the other person has had, and then you can work towards reconciliation. And don't let another person put you in a battery in your back. If you got it in your heart to forgive Norm, don't listen to Tom saying F Norm.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Especially if you're in a marriage or a committed relationship.
Man, listen.
And you bring up, an argument that happened 3 years ago,
right,
or 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh, man, so this is why. So you've been walking around here for 3 years with the stank face, and all you had to do was sit me down and let's have this conversation, so we could have moved on past it. So for 3 years, I'm wondering why we got this disconnect with each other or whatever, because we never sat down and communicated what the problem initially was, man. And a lot of times we hold on to these things, we let it fester until it destroys us. We have to learn how to let go, people, for real. And this is why people come to me, they're like, no, yo, Norm, you just so different at this point in your life. Like, you just so laid back, and because you know why? I watch certain friends and associates of mine that have died and had heart attacks because they were stressed out. So much stress overtook their body where they just left this earth, man.
Yes.
And I refuse to let that happen to me.
Yes.
I'm so stressed out and worried about how you feel about me.
Right. Ooh, speak the truth.
I'm so stressed out and worried about how this person feels about me, or this person's upset with me, or mad at me, or whatever like that. I'm so stressed out about that I'm letting it consume me, and eventually it kills me. I'm not going to let that happen. Like I said, if you got an issue or you got a problem with me, and you sit and come talk to me man to man, or woman to man, or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? And let us work through it if we can.
And original Man Cave morning show moment, if I may. Ladies, men are very literal, okay? Do not assume we know. If there is something going on, or if there was an offense or whatever, a disagreement with your man, tell your man. Don't assume that your man knows. He may be completely unaware. For people that ruminate on hurts for 6 months, when you ruminate on a hurt and a fault and don't confess it to the other person, the other person just lives their lives, and you're sitting there for 6 months being resentful over an issue that the other person doesn't have. So though perhaps it may be difficult for you to express the fact that you are hurt or have been wrong, if you do not speak it and say it to the person is not going to know. And a lot of that bitterness and anger and resentment is your fault because you didn't even give the person the opportunity to apologize. Next thing, the response that the person gives you is their response. So don't get mad if the response doesn't match up to what you think that is supposed to be. Now, I want Norm to take ownership for the fact that he hurt me, right? But if I feel that Norm has not cried enough and not prostrated himself enough before me and not said sorry on a TV show, that's my ego talking. All I need is for Norm to hear me, to acknowledge that he hurt me, and I hope that he'll apologize. But I can't make him because that's disingenuous.
Let me tell you, and I say this all the time. People have to learn to become better listeners. And there's an art into listening properly, and to where you listen enough to where you really comprehend what somebody's trying to say. Because some of us really don't know how to listen properly. You know what I'm saying? It's like we listen like
to respond.
Yeah, we listen like the Charlie Brown teacher. My
turn to talk.
Yeah. Just because you want to get your point out, so you're not really listening to the other person. Sometimes it's so much better to sit back. I listen to people. I sit back now. I listen. I'm like, oh, what's wrong? What's the problem? Blah, 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 blah. There's somebody, let me tell you, there's somebody, client, right, that I was dealing with. And I actually still deal with this particular client. And they called, they had a concern. They had a problem about something, right? Whatever, right? So they thought because of what they heard, they thought I was going to react a certain way.
Right.
Because of what they heard.
Not what they know, what they heard.
And the craziest thing I tell people all the time, stop being mad at other people you don't even know just because of what you heard about them. Or stop hating on other people that you don't even really know just because of what somebody else told you about them. Get to know that person for yourself. Right? So they was trying to relay their issue, their concerns, and their problem to me or whatever, and they thought I was going to react like, rah, right? And I sat back, I listened to everything they said. I said, you know what? Okay. I'll fix it today.
Right.
And it was just that simple. They was like, huh? Well, this is blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, I'll take care of it today. No problem.
But General.
And they was like, they didn't know how to handle it because they expected, they prepared themselves for this whole war and whatever with me. But you know why they didn't get that? Because they communicated. I listened to them communicate to me what they felt as though was wrong and what they felt as though their issue was. And I sat back and I listened and I heard it and I said, this is easy. Because now I know why they've been acting a certain way. And all you had to do was open your damn mouth and communicate that to me and let me respond to it and let's find a solution. A lot of times people want to engage into a confrontation with you and they're not even looking to find a solution. They just want to engage in the confrontation. The whole point of engaging to have this talk and discussion is to eventually find a resolve or some type of solution. If you're not trying to engage with me to find a resolve or a solution, let's not even engage in the first place. Because I'm allowing you to engage with me or have this communication with me so we can find a solution.
But General, you made the point I was going to make, which is there are people, a lot of us are addicted to rage and anger and drama and bitterness. So when you say, look, I'll fix that right now. What you still talking for? They are addicted to that conflict because they feel powerless. Woo. So, see, something happened to them back in the day where they felt disempowered and they never took the power back. That's why they always looking to blame and chastise and this anger and this rage and this hate. When you said, I'll fix that right now, they couldn't handle it. And a lot of people in our lives are like that. And are you like that? Am I like that? Do I need to examine myself to understand? See, I'm addicted to that rah-rah because that rah-rah was the only time I'm able to feel powerful. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
Remember that Bruce Lee movie, Enter the Dragon?
Yes.
And they was on the boat, right? And the dude was trying to get him riled up, the white dude, whatever like that. He said, what's your style? And Bruce Lee said, the art of fighting without fighting. The art of fighting off the boat without fighting. You know what I'm saying? And that's real talk. It's like some people look to get you
the art
in
of fighting without fighting
and want to get you all amped up, whatever like that, and get that adrenaline pumping. They're looking for that rise out of you. And when you don't give them that, it calms them down. It like
the art of fighting.
It shocks
without
them.
fighting.
It's the art of fighting without fighting. No, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to find a resolve. I'm here to find a solution. Shout out to Kim Cherie. She said, I promise I will put more wings in the next order for you. Nah, you good. Actually, your servings is nice, Kim. You know, I'm just messing with you, whatever, for the show. But shout out to Shawanda Ward on the check-in. Shawanda, what's good? Let's see. DJ One Spin said, hearing to respond and not listening to understand.
Yes.
Again,
Sila.
I'm going to say that again. He said, hearing to respond and not listening to understand.
Right.
Yes. Shout out to Babs. Babs, what's good? She said, you better say it, Norm. Babs said, also, oh, no, I can't do that. I know why we mad at each other and sometimes can't be repaired. I pay it no mind. I feel you, Bars, but just knowing you, I think you grew a lot. You evolved a lot. Shout out to Orlando Chandler. A lot of love here in the comments. A lot of love in the comments. All right. And Shawana said, good afternoon, everyone. No doubt. So let's sum up today's show. We talked about pettiness. We talked about holding grudges.
Forgiveness.
Learning how to communicate more.
Learning how to listen.
learning how to listen more, and being able to comprehend, not just listen, but being able to comprehend what somebody's trying to say.
Yep.
Again, man, just learning how to purge your emotions. Stop holding on to things,
Absolutely.
man. Just stop holding on. If you got to let it out, just let it out. And it's funny, man. Listen, my oldest son, we got this disconnect. And, at one point in time, I said, you know what? Okay, it's me. He has a right to be mad.
Yep.
I'm running around in the entertainment industry world, whatever like that. Didn't make the ample time that I should have, whatever the case may be. He has a right to be mad about that. But if I'm reaching out and I'm reaching out to you and I'm reaching out to you and I'm reaching out to you and I'm reaching out, and you keep constantly shutting me down, or you want to come at me disrespectful all the times or whatever like that, so then you know what? Then this next move, if you're really trying to fix this, is on you. Because I reached out over again.
Right.
And sometimes you have to let a person be ready in their own time. You have to let a person be ready in their own time. You cannot force someone to forgive you, or you cannot force someone to want to have that conversation that's going to fix the issue. You have to let them do it in their own time, because if they're not ready, it's not going to turn out right. It's not going to turn out right.
I, too, have learned this lesson from my son and my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Very painful lesson, very difficult. First of all, being able to say I'm sorry. Second of all, reaching out and them not reaching out to me a lot, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know that you have truly asked for forgiveness, you know that you have truly made your best effort, then you're allowed to be at peace, sir. You're allowed to be. See, no one's able to hold you hostage. Son is not able to hold you hostage. Your wife, my daughter, my son, whatever. They're no longer able to hold me hostage because I know that I've apologized, expressed myself, and God forbid I give them the space, the time to build up a capacity to have a relationship with me, because I was the one that breached the relationship. So now I have to be the one to show how it works in a different fashion. Very true. About to make me tear up, sir.
Yeah. No, it's
them kids.
No, it's real talk. It's real talk. At some point you gotta stop blaming yourself. At some point,
That's right.
You know you've done everything in the world that you could to try to connect or reach out to a person, whatever.
Right.
And they keep constantly shutting you down,
trying to manipulate you,
whatever. Yeah, and want to hold that over your head, whatever. Yep. Either you're gonna get to a point to where you're gonna work through it, so both of y'all can move on and you can let it go, or you have to get to a point you have to fall back and just let them be ready in their own time. When it comes to your kids, you got to just let them be ready in their own time, whatever.
Yes.
But you have to stop beating yourself,
right?
Too. You have to stop beating yourself over the head too with if I shoulda, I wish I coulda, and blah blah blah.
Shame, guilt,
this and all this
right.
guilt, whatever like that.
Right.
Kill
you, man.
I tried to reach out. I told you. What more do you want?
I'm here.
I told you. I'm here. My door is never closed.
Always open. Right.
Closed to you. You know what I'm saying? It's always open. So it's like, at some point in time, you have to give yourself a get out of jail free card.
Yes.
And you have to live your life. And when they're ready, then be ready for them. When they're ready.
They'll come back.
Especially when you've given all you can give.
Right.
All right. Listen, man, I want to thank everybody for joining us today on the Man Cave Show.
It's the Man Cave on.
This was something else.
Man, getting into my feelings on a Friday,
this
man.
Was
Go
something
ahead.
else, man. Listen, as
making
we always
my head
say,
sweat.
This show was never about us.
It's always about you.
Because
you are the next best kept secret.
And we love you guys, man.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Not a damn thing.
Wakanda forever.
Now we can say, if you would like to send a contribution in support of our programming and this radio station, please feel free. We don't care how small, what size,
right?
50 cents, $1, $5, we don't care. If you would like to send a contribution to support our programming, please just cash at $ BKS1 Radio. That's $
BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio.
Yes.
And we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate y'all. We want to thank everybody for calling in, all the callers, people that made comments, all of that. In case somebody may have missed what we discussed, share it out. Click the share button. Share this information out. Put your captions on it. If you like to take a quote for anything we said or whatever, feel free. Sharing is caring. We love y'all, man. Have a great weekend. See y'all next week.
It's the Man Cave Morning Show. Love y'all. Take it easy.